So here we are working to counter condition and systematically desensitize a dog that is sensitive to touch in the area of the X and responds with growling and biting. So first, we're going to reach and touch the dog in areas that he's not sensitive to. So this is going to be around the head, the neck, the shoulders, the chest. And I'm going to reach out, touch, and then give him a piece of food. Reach out and touch and give him a piece of food. I'm going to just do this all over areas that I know he's not sensitive to. So this is kind of the desensitization part where I'm going to slowly and gradually be moving towards the area that he's sensitive to. But initially, I'm just pairing. If I reach out and touch you on your body somewhere that you're not sensitive to, you're going to get a piece of food. So the dog begins to anticipate when he's reached and touched, something good is going to happen. So he associates being reached for and touched with something really positive. And again, reach, touch, and then present food. I'm not petting him or rubbing him or anything like that. I'm just reaching out and touching him and giving him a piece of food because it's the reach and touch that he finds threatening in that particular area of his body back by his flank. Okay, so next we're going to move slightly behind the shoulder area. So reach and touch, and then present food. Reach, touch, then present food. Because I know in this area, he's not sensitive to being touched here. Although initially, he seemed a little wary of it. And again, I'm not petting, I'm not rubbing, I'm just reaching out and touching him because that's the behavior that triggers the aggressive response when he's reached out and touched near the flank. So it's reach, touch, then present food. And I'm also closely monitoring his behavior. He's very happy, very excited, so things are going well. So now I'm moving back a little bit farther to his mid-back and rib area, which is right in front of the part of the body that he's very sensitive to being touched. So initially, what I'm going to do is pair. I'm going to touch him in areas that he's not sensitive to, that we've worked with before, which is around the shoulders, just right behind the shoulders. As I start out the session. Then I'm moving to touching him on his ribs, which is very close to the area that he's sensitive to. So initially, I'm going to reach and touch and present food at the same time, which is really more of a distraction for him. And it's enabling me to kind of observe his behavior and see, is he concerned about what I'm doing? Is he freezing? Does he seem stressed at all? Is he reluctant to accept and eat the food? And he's not, so then I can move on to touch, present food. So that's what teaches him that reaching is a predictor of good things happening. And again, I'm not petting, I'm not rubbing, I'm just reaching out and touching him because that's the behavior that triggers the aggression. So now I'm moving up on the back. Okay, so this is the last step where we're going to start counter-conditioning him to being touched in the area that he's very sensitive to. So initially when I start out, I'm not going to touch the area that he's very sensitive to. I'm just going to repeat some of the stuff that we've been doing. And he's very comfortable with. Moving back a little bit farther. But it's still something that he's very comfortable with, that we've worked on before. So now I'm touching the area where he's sensitive. And as I'm doing that, I'm presenting the food at the same time that I'm touching. I'm also moving slowly and deliberately and observing his behavior. So reach, touch, while he gets the treat. Then, since he seems totally fine with it, he's very relaxed, he's eager to eat, I'm going to move on to reaching and touching and then presenting the treat. So now I'm moving my hand up over his back. I'm touching in a different area. So while I'm touching in this different area, I'm initially pairing food with the touch and observing his behavior. And since he seems fine with it, I'm just going to move on to reach, touch, then present food. So he will always anticipate whenever he's reached out and touched, something good will happen for him. That's going to change his conditional emotional response from feeling threatened to being really happy and mildly anticipating being touched, because he's had so many experiences where it's been really positive.